We're live. This is Rich Lieberman, the media pulse of the Bay Area. And I have an exclusive. I reached out to Pat Thurston. She's a long-time Bay Area broadcaster. Years and years and years ago, she worked at KPIX FM. Remember the O.J. Simpson trial? Well, she covered that. And that was when KPIX FM was a legal station and they were doing the OJ trial in addition to other projects. She, after that, soon became a part of KGO Radio and had a long time show, worked on the weekend. Then she got her own show, did a lot of interesting programs, interviews, and so forth. A big time Bay Area fixture. When KGO finally cut the cord, Pat Thurston got a gig at KCBS back in October of 2022. Good show. And look, she did mostly news, and she developed an interview style with a lot of her interviews, like David Katz, the legal authority in Beverly Hills, and people like Loretta Lynch, who used to be the chairwoman of the CPUC here in the Bay Area, and of course, all of California, had tremendous access to a lot of important people whom she had on her KGO show. And while anchoring and doing news on KCBS, had them on when she did and when they went to interviews. So many stylistic points for Pat Thurston. All of a sudden, a couple of weeks back, she posted on one of her social media sites that she was resigning. And I reached out to Pat. I've had a relationship with her, business relationship. And she at first did not want to talk, but then I called her back and she reconsidered. And I asked her, because I had heard many, quite frankly, negative things, interesting things, to say the least, about her sudden exit from KCBS. And she did give me some information. She said that it was reluctant, that they changed, they being KCBS management, they changed her schedule around, and that she is dealing with a personal issue, which I'm not going to go into. She told me in confidence, but it has to do with somebody in her family, and I'll leave it at that. I don't want to be vague. It's just that I don't want to get involved in that part. But the situation with regards to her family made it key that she have a certain schedule at KCBS, which management said they were hip to. They gave her a schedule. She had a weekend gig from 2 to 7, Saturday and Sunday, and then she did other mostly evening broadcasts. And ultimately, somebody there was not happy about that and made a move, and it didn't mesh well with Pat Thurston. So she left. It wasn't just that. And let me just say this. She didn't say this, Pat Thurston, but she also made it appear, she also sounded as if she's weighing all her options. And she does have many options there. There was some inferences that she thought that they were not handling the situation right, that they treated her wrongly, and that various people there, some of whom, and I'm talking about KCBS management, some of who should know better, that they treat a lot of people, this I've heard throughout, that many people they treat like little kids at KCBS. Again, this is not the kind of conduct, this is not the kind of manner in which you treat people on any level. Thurston most evidently felt that way, hence her repeat to me that she's considering all options. Now, you can look at that and say, well, what is she getting, a lawyer? I don't know. I don't think so, but she did indicate to me that she wanted to go over all of this because she's not happy. She's not happy in the manner in which they treated her at KCBS. Let me just say something too. And this is where egos get in the way of common sense. Now, this is my opinion. And I said this to Pat. And I would say it to whoever runs the ship there at KCBS, whether it's Dennis Foley, this new guy that they brought in, or good old Jenny Seelig. And that is, Thurston would have made for a fantastic choice to narrate, to be the host of KCBS In Depth. A, she can interview from her KGO days. B, she most certainly has a good style. She knows several people, like I just mentioned, like Loretta Lynch, like Russ Baker, the columnist, the Washington-based columnist guy who talks about things that have happened in the past involving government. She knows people locally. And most importantly, she's got a distinct style. She would have made In Depth back to what it used to be when it was a good, solid, newsy program. Instead, they go with this Mary Hughes, who sounds ridiculous. It's pathetic. That's my opinion. Of course, it's my opinion. But Thurston, and look, I criticized Pat Thurston, and I said it to her open. I thought she was being a little too KGO-y in some of her broadcasts at KCBS with the interviews. David Katz, Tim Sika, the movie guy. But in fairness to Pat Thurston, that's her style. She read the news okay, better than okay, and she had a kind of like a folksy manner, which in normal times I would have issues with, but I thought it worked well because she's got local cachet, and that means a lot. And the fact that they would screw with her, again, my opinion, and not figure out a way in which to placate both her and others, to me, again, it reeks of the kind of stupidity and the idiocy and the incompetency that is KCBS these days, not just on the air, but off the air. And once again, folks, when you have a monopoly, when you have an outfit that doesn't have any direct competition, this is what you get. So they lost Thurston. Is there an avenue to which they can make a deal and perhaps, calm everybody down? I don't think so. I think this is over and done with. And by the way, Thurston, to her credit, also said she's also content, perhaps, to retire. But is there an element of ageism, perhaps, that they let her go? Ageism. She's 71 years old, is Thurston. Sounds great on the air. So if that could be proven, and if there's a lawyer out there, ultimately that could affect the situation, obviously, that presents a whole new dynamic. Here's hoping that it doesn't go down that road. But as she said very, very, very decidedly, I hold weighing all her options is basically how she put it. So we'll wait and see. Anyway, Pat Thurston is no longer at KCBS. Are there others there too who have been messed with? Yes, some of whom I'm not really fans of. I'm not going to mention them because this is about Pat Thurston. Pat Thurston, in my book, is a solid local broadcaster with lots of credence, with lots of news acumen. So it's kind of a sad situation to see her leave KCBS, but there's also options out there too with regards to podcasts, in regards to other projects that could be on the horizon for Pat Thurston. Anyway, I thought I'd let you know about what the situation is on that front, and any new developments or information, I most certainly will bring them to you. Thanks for watching, Rich Lieberman. Do make a donation to my project here on YouTube if you like it, even if you don't like it, even if you disagree now and then. Please become a subscriber on my YouTube show and let me know how you feel. Rich.Lieberman@gmail.com is my email address. Hey, thanks for watching. See you later.